Hello people, you're welcome to my channel. I'll still remain my humble self, MC Bernardino. Welcome to the Dino Talk Show. Thank you very much for those of you that have subscribed to this channel. Thank you so much. For those of you that commented on this channel and the previous videos that I've done, thank you so much for hitting the likes button. Really appreciate you guys. Thumbs up to you guys. For those of you that have subscribed, like I always plead, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the likes button, comment on this video, share this video with loved ones. Thank you very much. All right, without further ado, what do I have for you today? Today, I just want to talk about how to pass your Ielts exam in just one attempt. How to pass your Ielts exam in just one attempt. Don't forget, in my previous video, especially the one I did the last time, I told you that I did my Ielts exam 3 times. I have the experience. I just want to share with somebody out there. You're looking at doing your exam, how you can pass your Ielts exam in just one attempt. Don't forget how I think about this segment where I always drop it deep, hit you hard, you act on it, and you are always okay with it. Till I come back to you, stay tuned.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Welcome back. Glad to see you guys once again. All right, let's quickly run through the disclaimer. Like I always tell you, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a consultant. Everything I tell you on this channel, they're based on my own views, subject to my own opinion, and based on my own research. I'm not paid to do this, nobody's paying me, and I'm not asking anybody for money. I'm just sharing my own idea and my own experience. All right, as far as you want to make your immigration decision, don't just limit it to just this channel alone. You're free to make your own additional research. All right, guys. All right, so what does the acronym Ielts stand for? It simply stands for International English Language Testing System. It's an exam that is being organized by the British Council, specifically for those that are traveling abroad to the UK, traveling to Australia, or you want to come into Canada. Basically, they just want to assess your English language, your ability to read, write, speak, and listen as far as English is concerned. It is in 2 versions. We have the academic version and the general version. The academic version is strictly tailored towards education. Probably you want to go study abroad. There are some universities that request for that, so you have to do the academic version. But as far as immigration is concerned in Canada, you have to do the general module. You have to know that the general module is what you do as far as your Canada immigration is concerned, and that's what this talk show is all about. So how can you pass your exam? I'll be sharing some salient tips with you guys, how you can actually prosper in your exam. Eat it in one attempt and you score a very good band. I have the experience. All right. So don't forget I told you that as far as general module is concerned in the Ielts, there are 4 sections: writing, speaking, reading, and listening. I'll be starting with listening. Why listening? Listening because as far as express entry is concerned, listening is highly weighted, meaning that you need to perform very well. You need to bring in your A game in the listening aspect, because you can actually boost up your point. So you should be looking at a minimum of band 8 in the listening. So what do you expect on the day of the exam? So on the day of the exam, listening lasts for 30 minutes. So you need to make sure you're prepared for it. So it can come in different form. It can be a conversation with two people. It can be just a monologue, just one person talking alone. It can be a lecture. So all you have to do is listen attentively, get the point, jot it down while the tape is on. But before they start playing it, they'll give you a headphone. So you have to test that, make sure that the headset is good. If you have any complaint, you raise your own concern, and so they address that immediately, because once they start playing the tape, they won't stop just because of you. So make sure that is good. And also, you need to make sure that once the tape is on, you note your point. Just put it down, jot it down right away, because it keeps going. So you have to keep noting the point. One salient thing I want to tell you is this: before they start, because it's in section, before they start playing a particular session to answer probably question 1 to 7, make sure you go through the question first before they start playing it. They give you some few minutes. You go through the question, so when they start playing the tape, you know what you're actually looking out for. So it is very important for you to go through the question first before you start listening to each section. It's actually up. Some other tips I would like to share with you include making sure that, I already told you about headset, making sure that the headset is fine, and also at the end of the 30 minutes, they give you additional 10 minutes to transfer your answer into the answer booklet. endeavor to make sure you capitalize your answers. Make sure you put it in capital letter. Why? For the eligibility for the examiner or the marker rather to be able to see what you've written down. And be very careful about your grammatical punctuation and grammar. Make sure you write them clearly. And also, sometimes they tell you that you should write in 2 words, in 3 words. Make sure you don't exceed the instruction. If it's in 2 words, make sure your answer are in 2 words. Okay, so this point can actually help you in the listening part. Once again, make sure you're relaxed, listen carefully. I could remember one of my trials for the listening exam. I was so tense that I could not even, for the first 1 to 5 questions, I couldn't even listen clearly to even understand where the answer is. But I wasn't bothered. I just carried on from question 6 until 40. And at the end of the day, I went back to question 1 and 5, and I just chose an answer. So you have to make sure that you're in a good state of mind before you go. Now let's go to the reading aspect of the general version of Ielts TS. Now, reading lasts for 60 minutes on the day of the exam. And questions basically come from newspapers, journals, magazines. Those are where they adopt the questions from. So as a way for you to practice, I always advise that prior to this exam, familiarize yourself with any time you get across, you see a newspaper, go through the newspaper, read it. What are you looking for? You're looking for ability to read very fast, to skim through it, to see any grammar you see in there, vocabularies you see in there, check the dictionary for it, so that you get familiarized with it, so that on the day of the exam, while you go into the exam, you see questions like that, you see reading passages, you can actually go through it and it will be very easy for you. So for the reading, they start, the first few questions, when you start with maybe question 1 to like 20, they are always easy, but as you progress, it becomes harder. So the last aspect of it, like maybe question 25 to 40, they are more tougher. So here are a few tips I would like to share with you. Don't forget, when you're answering questions in the reading aspect, make sure you capitalize your answer. It is good for clarity and so that the marker can actually see what you have written down. Make sure you keep an eye on the clock. It's very important because I told you have 60 minutes. And once it's 60 minutes, you have to stop writing. So it's very important to keep an eye on the clock. And also, make sure that you stay glued to the instruction, because you'll be given instruction in the text, in the question. Make sure you answer based on the instruction you're given. Because sometimes you get the answer right, but the instruction you are given, you didn't follow it. So you have to make sure that you listen to the instruction and be careful of grammar. Grammar is very important. Your punctuation is very important, because these are what gives you additional points in the Ielts exam reading version. All right, let's talk about writing. It lasts for 60 minutes on the day of the exam. We have task 1 and task 2. Task 1 is just telling you to write not less than 150 words, while task 2 is telling you to write not less than 250 words. You have to adhere strictly to this rule. Not less than 150 words means that you can write more, but not lesser than 150. So questions you might be expecting are informal letters, like liking a letter to your friend, telling him or her about your last vacation. Things like that are what you expect in task 1. But task 2 is a little bit tougher. You might be asked to write an essay on ozone layer depletion, write for or write against, why democracy is good, for or against. Questions like that are what you're expected. So they are actually looking out for your ability to express yourself, good punctuation, grammatical expression, vocabularies. These are what they are looking out for. So here are some few tips I would like to share with you as far as writing is concerned. 1, the first task, which is for 20 minutes, make sure you adhere to that timing. And the second task, which is for 40 minutes, make sure you adhere strictly to that timing. 2, I already told you, make sure you don't write lesser than 150 words for task 1 and lesser than 250 words for task 2. It can be more, but not less, because you lose points for that. Number 3, you don't have to count the words. You have to start counting. Prior to the day of the exam, you should have been practicing. There's a form, you can actually download that form. That's more like a general standard form that you'll be using on that day. So if you practice with that, on the day of the exam, you can actually figure out how many words will be 150 words for you, and it will be very easy for you. Now, the next point I'll be sharing with you is always write your conclusion for task 2. Never miss it out. So as far as task 2 is concerned, which take more point and more time, make sure that your conclusion, you make everything in paragraph, introduction, your few points, and make sure you have your conclusion. It is very pivotal. And keep information focused and relevant. Everything you put in the writing, whether task 1 or task 2, make sure that they are relevant to what you have been asked. Because in some cases, especially in task 1, they will guide the answer that they require from you. What you need to tell your friend, appreciate your friend for the last visit, and what you want from your friend. So those points line, those guidelines, you need to follow them, because those are what the markers will be looking for while marking your script. Another point is, do not remove any paper from the exam. So don't take out any paper from the booklet, the answer booklet that you're given on the day of the exam. Everything together. Make sure that your writing is legible, can be seen. All right, it is very important, because the more legible your writing is, the easier for the marker to score you and for you to write. So let's talk about speaking. So as far as I'm concerned, based on my own previous experience, speaking is like a piece of cake. If you practice for it, though, it's easy for you to get the highest band in speaking, because it's just more like having a conversation with the interviewer, face-to-face conversation. All you need to do is just be relaxed. So it comes in 3 parts. The first part is more like the introduction with the interviewer. So questions can come in the form of, tell me about your favorite food, your best friend, so things like that within 1 minute. So just express yourself, be free. So what they actually like looking out for is not vocabulary. So don't be hell-bent on using big words. It's just your ability to flow. That's what the interviewer is actually looking out for. So as far as the accent is concerned, you can use British or American accent. Anyone is okay. It's just basically expressing yourself. So the part 2 of it is more of higher level. So you'll be given a pen and a piece of paper by the interviewer on that day. So you'll be given, he or she will give you the topic of discourse. So you'll be given some few minutes to note your point. After that, he or she will prompt you to start speaking. So you speak for like 2 to 3 minutes on the particular topic you're given. So you can be given a topic why people are migrating abroad, question like that. Or it could be tougher. They give you a question about ocean pollution. So things like that. So you'll be given some few minutes to jot out your point, and the interviewer will prompt you to start speaking. So you have to speak for 2 to 3 minutes. Please, my advice is this: don't stop talking. If you are not within that time, once you are not prompted to stop, continue talking, because the interviewer is actually looking for your ability to speak fluently and for you to flow. So don't those full stop, just keep talking. Make sure that your conversation is also relevant to the subject of discourse. It is very important. So the part 3 of the speaking is, so based on what you've spoken about, the interviewer will now ask you some further questions just to see how you reply to that and how you flow to that too. So that is it. Within 10 to 15 minutes, you are done with your speaking. So on the day of the exam, so one thing you need to notice this: you might not be doing your speaking on the day you did your writing, listening, and writing, speaking, and listening. You might not be doing your speaking on that same day. You might be told to come on the next day, or they probably fix another day with you. So, but whatever day they chose for you, come into the exam and make sure you're relaxed, you're not tense. You can put on anything. It's just your ability to speak fluently that the examiner is looking out for. With these tips, you can succeed and score a good band in your speaking. All right. I hope I've been able to give you some salient points on how you can pass your Ielts general module exam. Now, don't forget, practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfection. Everything I've told you, you cannot limit yourself to this. You still have to practice. Practice speaking with your friend, having conversation with your friend, correcting your grammar, correcting your punctuation. That can help you in the speaking aspect. As far as writing is concerned, whenever you have opportunity, keep writing. Writing is very important, because when you write, you get familiarized with those words, you get acquainted with them, and it will be very easy for you on the day of the exam. As far as listening is concerned, I encourage you, listen to news. Listen to news is very important, because those are what I did when I was preparing for my exam. Conversation with people, listen attentively, get this salient point, put it down. Anything you don't understand, the thesaurus is your friend, the dictionary is your friend. Consult them. Google is also your friend too. You can learn from that. So these tips can help you succeed in your Ielts exam. Okay, now before I go to the think about this segment, for those of you that have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. Everything I've said in this video, I'll be linking it down below, so you can hit on the link how you can prepare various websites for you to prepare for your Ielts exam. I'll be linking them down below. Don't forget to share this video, hit the likes button, reach me on Facebook, Instagram. I will always get back to you as soon as possible. All right, so let's talk about the think about it segment, where I drop it deep, hit you hard, and you act on it. So today, I'll be sharing with you a quote from Delia Barbas. It says, Ielts teaches skills that you need in your whole life: speaking, writing, listening, and reading. There are quotes that you have to practice for your Ielts exam: speaking, listening, writing, and reading. They are very important for you to prepare to pass your exam, and you will excel as far as your Canada Express entry profile is concerned. Make sure you practice, because practice makes perfection. Till I come back to you guys, I remain your own boy, MC Bernardino. Peace out. Stay out of crime.